Welcome back to the Talking Hedge. I'm Josh Kincaid, Capital Markets Analyst and host of your Cannabis Business Podcast. Back with us is Rohit Srivastava. He's a Chief Investment Officer and Portfolio Manager with Saroj and Bhanu Fund. We're going to be talking about our AI Cannabis Index that has technical analysis with predictive analytics. Rohit, thanks for being back on the podcast.
Thanks, Josh. Thanks for having me. Well, let's go further. Regular disclosure, which we have all the time, that this is all for entertainment. This is all for learning. There is no advice giving here. We're just talking about our index and how we think about our stocks and investments. And you can learn from that and you can enjoy those things as well. We've been talking about equally weighted index, and this is just like a VIX where we tell about like how the index overall is doing. This is not like an investment index. This is just a identifier saying that if the market is doing good or not, cannabis market is doing good or not. From the index perspective, this is where the inception was, and this is where we were this was last week, and this week we basically turned around 310. It has broken all the support, so 310 might be a support, or 310 might be just temporary support till where most of the algos might have picked up and bought a bunch of stuff. So we'll see what happens in the next week. But if we look at the how the money movement happened, this is where it started to turn around like earlier last week when we were doing this. And this week it just spiked, and a lot of money has been pumped into this. And we have seen this regularly happening, that whenever there is like a huge downturn, there is like an upturn. There's a downturn and there is a little bit of buying. This huge down. I think a lot of buying that has happened. Also, the overall market has been turned around in the last 2 weeks, so there might be something around that. But I think the next 1 week should give a little bit of more direction about how strong or how good these stocks have been doing. From our index perspective, the investable index perspective, we have a bunch of buys and sells, and this is where we have we had sold 3 of them and we had bought 4 of them. And want to stress that this is the all algorithmic based index, and based on what we have bought and sell in the last last 1 week, this is where we are. So last week we were about 42%. This week we're a little bit over 44%. So about 3% gain in the last 1 week. And here are the buys and sells. You can see the buys and sells which has been done in the last 1 week around that. So we sold the IIPR, NBEV, and Tillery, but we bought MO, ABBV, Arena, and one more, and MB. No, I think that's it. We bought 3 of them. We're still holding the MO. So we basically had bought 3 and sold 3 in this whole during this time. From the overall, we gain about 13.68%. We have 38 big 6%, and from year to date, our performance has been about 45% in that. In comparison to the 2 major cannabis index, MJ and POTX, we are doing 13.68% compared to the negative percent which you're seeing out there. And overall, basically from the time of inception, we basically had about 45% gain versus 62 and 63% gain on that. And I mean, this is, we've been talking about this, and we just started comparing our index with the 2 index. But what would be awesome is that we can prepare some data and for our viewers give an idea about why this is happening, why this is having a better returns than the other 2 indexes. And we'd love to do that, and maybe tomorrow we can shoot something around that. But this is a comparison as to how we are progressing, or like giving you an idea that, what are we buying and what are we selling, and how these are weighted, and based on that, how are we actually gaining with a short period of time, even though the market is falling. So we'll talk a little more about that. We'll probably have a special podcast just related to that. But overall, where we stand right now is for year to date, we have about 14% gain. For 13.6 or 14% gain, and from the time of the inception, we have about 45% gain on that. To summarize, we basically are for the overall cannabis market, it bounced back at 310. We're looking for a support, and we're seeing that maybe it is creating a new support. We sold 3 of them, we bought 3 of them, and we're holding 1 MO, which basically are still holding. And from the investable area, we have about 14% gain from the year to date and about 45% gain from the time of inception. That's all we have, but I want to reiterate that, that the market has been, looks like it's turning really very well, but we need some confirmation. Our investable index still basically buys and sell based on what would be a good time to buy and what would be a good time to sell. And it's done about 13 to 14% gain in this year so far. So,
and then just to clarify for audio podcast listeners, POTX and MJ are down. I think you had misspoke when you said it was a gain. They gained 65%. They're actually down 62 and 63% respectively for MJ and POTX, while we're up 44%. So it's over 100% swing, 100% difference in outcome. But one thing I wanted to highlight too was the amount of money coming into the industry. So while IIPR and a lot of these REITs took a hit, we were still positive. So we were able to pick up IIPR at the optimum time,
right?
Which is really difficult to do. You can't time this market unless you've got a trading robot. But outside of that, the industry of REITs, the real estate investment trusts, are getting absolutely hammered, and yet we still pulled out a gain. So
that's right.
Kudos to your algorithm there.
Oh, thank you. And also to add to what you said is that I think one of the reason why we went into the advantage is that during the time when the market was really crashing at the end of February, the start of March, we were not holding any of those. Mm-hmm. And you can go back and look at our podcast where we were not holding any when the market was actually trying to take a huge dip on that. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I mean, that's what the smart algorithm does, is try to not hold something when the market is crashing and try to pick up at the right time.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we're going to do another podcast about what would happen if you were just to buy and hold these equities without having the option of, a smart trading algorithm. And then we're going to dive into some other things about how we are different than the competition, whether that's MJ or POTX. We'll do a little podcast and kind of show you what makes us unique and special and better.
Yes, that'll be awesome.
All right. Well, I guess with that, we're going to roll this one up. I want to thank my guest, Rohit Srivastava, Chief Investment Officer and Portfolio Manager with Saroj and Bhanu Fund. Thanks again for being with us.
Thanks, Josh.
I'm Josh Kincaid. This is The Talking Hedge. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, or don't. And I'm out.